What is up, guys? So, Israel Adesanya put a tweet out, a little montage video, basically explaining why he hates Dricus. Because some people, they're like, why is Israel Adesanya tripping? Was he drinking? Yeah, he said he had a couple shots before he went into the octagon and said what he said, but he just does not like Dricus. And this video kind of explains why. So this is the tweet. It says, don't backplay the victim. Stand on your original statement. Say it with your chest. I never discredited you as a real African. You tried to discredit 3 real African UFC champions. You started this, and I will finish this. That's not a threat. That's a promise. Then he says something in a language native to Africa. If I pronounce this wrong, sorry. It says, Bo Bo Yen Maku, which means listen to you and don't die. Now, that's according to Google Translate, so if that's wrong, blame Google. But the 3 real African champions Israel Adesanya is talking about is Usman, who was born in Nigeria, Israel himself, who was born in Nigeria, and then Francis Ngannou, who was born in Cameroon, right? So all places in Africa. But let's go ahead and play this video that Israel Adesanya put out to kind of explain where this beef originated from, and we'll go ahead and dissect this.
And I can jump a few more to get in that top 20 and start making my way to that title, because that's ultimately what I want within the next 2 years. I want to be the first real African champ, trained, born, bred in Africa.
Well, I mean, did those belts ever go to Africa? As far as I know, it came to America and New Zealand. I'm going to take a belt to Africa. I'm the African fighter in the UFC. Myself and Cameron, we breathe the African air. We wake up in Africa every day. We train in Africa, we're African born, we're African raised. We still reside in Africa, we train out of Africa.
So Dricus' whole thing is that, to truly bring the belt back to Africa, to represent Africa, you got to stay there to this day. You got to train there, you got to live there. And that's when it's truly being brought back to Africa, not because you were just born there like Izzy and Francis Ngannou and Usman. Now, is this a very brave thing to say? Yeah. Did he step on some toes of Francis Ngannou, Kamaru Usman, and Israel Adesanya? Absolutely. Can I see how this can be disrespectful to them? 100%.
That's an African champion, and that's who I'll be.
All right, so I'm excited for this fight. On paper or through their resume, people will look at Rob and say, "Oh, Rob's got this. Rob's gonna smoke this guy, right, former champion." Look, Dricus fights ugly, but he always finds a way to win. I really, really pray he gets this done against Rob, just because I think it's one for the history books. But Dricus, if he wins, I'm gonna punish him. I'm gonna torture him. But I'm gonna make sure he wins so I can step in the cage and just call him a the whole time. What's up, ass nigga? What's up?
You want to be one of us?
Yeah. I straight up. What's up, nigga? What's up, bitch? And we try to talk shit. Like, what's up, nigga? Huh? Bitch ass nigga. Oh, I've did it like in the shower. I've seen it so many times, man. So many fucking times. I swear, I just walk in the cage and I can just feel myself. I feel myself like turn. I feel myself turn, and I'm just there like just feeling it. I'm just like.
I think this is very interesting because this shows us how Izzy, he's sending main character vibes. You want to know why I think this? It's because he's showing you the vision. He's showing you how it's unraveling, how this next fighter, Dricus, how he's proposing himself to his storyline, Izzy's storyline, and that Izzy's the main character and he has an obstacle, which is Dricus, and this is the build up between the two. Somebody who's trying to discredit his origins and connect this to his obsession with anime, and you understand how this is not so good for Dricus. I'm sure he doesn't care about any of this stuff, but what this does is it empowers Izzy, because now he's fighting for something. He's built a bad character that he has to defeat, and it's going to give him energy. It's going to give Israel Adesanya energy because now he's fighting a bad guy. He's creating a backstory for Dricus. And you see how Israel Adesanya, he says, oh, I have a premonition of this happening. And guess what? When he goes and that really does happen, it empowers his mindset. And now he can fully live, once what was imagination is becoming reality. And as it becomes reality and the things that he expects to happens. Like he goes into the octagon after thinking, you know, all this stuff would happen, and he actually goes in the octagon and it does happen. It empowers Izzy because now, guess what? He thought it was real. It's becoming real. And just like he thinks he's going to defeat Dricus, he becomes that much more closer to that becoming a reality, because it's like a stepping stone in his imagination. You know, he's laying out the pathways.
Chill. That's right. We're fine. Relax. This is my African brother right here. Let's go. What's up? Let's go. Yeah. What's up?
Get
So the rest of this montage video, it ends with this full, you know, octagon interview back and forth. I don't want to play it because I don't want to get copyrighted. But at the same time, though, that's the end of the montage. It ends with this back and forth. And I just think it's very interesting how Izzy, he lays out what's going to happen in his imagination. He brings it to a reality, thus gets him closer to actually him, you know, creating the reality of him getting the victory. It's very creative. It's very, you know, I can't really describe it. It's fascinating because it also empowers him, you know, as he's like kind of living this movie role that he's playing, you know what I mean? And it's, confidence is a hell of a thing, and he's creating a villain that he has to defeat in his mind. So when they're standing across from each other in the octagon, you know, Dricus is going to be playing a character that he's unaware that he's playing, you know, and you know, he's very much so, you know, in trouble in that regard, because he better be looking at Izzy with that same emotion, that same drive to defeat, because if not, he's going to be in trouble. I mean, yeah, of course he wants to win. Of course he wants to defeat Izzy, but he better have that strong inclination to do so as Izzy has to defeat him, because if not, he's going to be in trouble.